predictions I have for 2021, and some of them I really hope are wrong. For 2021 and 2022, and then to 2031, okay?
We changed the world through science, amen, we win it. And we did all of this even going through a pandemic. Because with all our cases, it's still smiles and growth on all their faces. And we did all of this for all our children.
The reason that I'm doing this is because, you know how I constantly say, if you guys can help, if you can use data, if you can study history, if you can use behavior analysis, examine trends, and then have a little bit of meditations in your head, those things together can help you predict what may or may not happen next so you can be prepared. And the more you can be prepared, the more you can feel safe. The more you feel safe, the more you can be courageous to help your family, number one, and the people that you love and our learners, okay? So that's why I'm doing it. Number one, inequality and climate change are going to keep worsening. The second one's easy for you to figure out, right? I mean, and it's like become a real mission of mine. A lot of the time I've been spending with Olivia has helped me understand that, with Livy, my daughter, and a lot of other people that I care so much about for the way they're treated without dignity and things like that, okay? So inequality and climate change are going to continue being a problem. So what are the solutions to that? Number one, if people understand behavior analysis, they can understand self-control and delayed gratification. The more that we can forego these immediate, easy things, like using plastic, and I'm not judging anyone because I use it all the time, and then prepare for the more remote consequence, which can be a sustainable Earth, the sooner we can get ahead of the climate change problem that's facing our folks. So I think our company's got to have a real focus on that, and a lot of that's just my fault for, like, right now I'm driving a car with, it guzzles a lot of gas and so forth. I got it accidentally, but now I like it. So my immediate reinforcer is driving fast. But the long-term consequence of me using these carbon emissions like this is f***ed up for the Earth. I just don't know why we don't get ahead of it sooner. Now, secondly, self-control. So when it comes to inequality, that's going to keep happening. I think with Democratic leadership in the White House and other places, it can slow it down a little bit by dispersing funds to those in need. Okay? Like, that can slow down the inequality. But at the end of the day, like I always say, human behavior is behavior analysis. We should try to provide tons of quality of opportunity, but, like, we're all different human beings. And the reality of market forces and contingencies is that not everyone has the same equal outcome ever. Hardly ever. I mean, if you win a race and you guys are both, like, there at the end of the finish line at the same exact time, I don't know how often that's really going to happen. It's very rare, okay? And one of the problems with climate change, to circle back, is the fucking the regulations. We need to deregulate energy. Regulation creates problems where energy companies begin to hire cronies, and then those cronies that are insiders, they hire their cronies, and the more regulations occur, the more the crafty people work around them. And the best performing energy company that's private will not succeed. Number two, insiders, especially with our technology, insiders at the highest level of wealth and politics will continue this quasi-unethical sharing of information. They're going to continue sharing information with each other. It's like these super secret groups that they have, okay? And by understanding that, I spent some time with some people on the walking path. I started realizing that more and more. I'm like, wow, everything is not what it seems. The very, very wealthy folks, or those in power, when they have the wrong mindset about it's all about consuming and all about them and just their immediate family, that's not self-control. That's just immediate gratification for them. And as a result of that, they lack transparency. The more that you lack transparency in your process and your results and your outcomes, the more that you start seeing shit fall apart because people are not transparent and they're hiding a lot of stuff. Disinformation by government, by those in power and those with wealth, disinformation and misinformation, or whatever you want to call it, lack of transparency, will continue a lot. And that misinformation and disinformation are the reasons that things like the GameStop revolution occurred. So if you understand behavior analysis, you'll understand that people got tired of it. It was kind of cool. I respect what they did. They all got on Reddit and they saw that the wealthy few hedge fund managers and so forth were doing these behind the scenes insider things to short stocks and make billions. So what you'll see if you look back in time at what occurred with GameStop and Reddit and silver, the shorting of things, like where I'm going with this is like the disinformation that is spread matters. Radical transparency, candor, real stuff matters for us to do the right thing. I wanted to say a potential solution is behavior analysis when it comes to long-term trend analysis, not short-term shorting of stocks and performance that's fake. Okay, because shorting a stock is fake and people make money real quickly and it's kind of fucked up. What happened was through Robinhood, people all got together and through social media and we're like, wait, we're going to share some information and we're going to short some stuff and we're going to make money like the wealthy few do. I thought it was dope as shit. I like that. That's how learning occurs. Controversy, differences, working together. That's what happened. Number 4, I'm going to continue offending the fuck out of people, but with the intent that I hope you guys understand. I hope that my track record of trying to do good when I offend people, I hope my track record going back to the 3 values has some meaning to you. Okay? I hope that you see when shit gets really rough, I'm going to be there for you every time. So you can be courageous and help people, your family, okay? So that's cool. I see Diane nodding her head. It's awesome. So I want you to understand that the predictions and extrapolations are not really exactly exciting. I'll be criticized by the behavior analytic community a lot, like I have been historically. But if my intent is to do good, which is hard to measure, you'll see. Number 5, I need for you guys to continue having radical transparency with me when I'm out of step. I need that sometimes, that private feedback or public feedback. I need it because I try to be that way as much as I can without upsetting people, but I need that from you. The reason I need that from you, sometimes it'll be on the side because, it can be embarrassing, but I need that information from you on what I have to do better or the perception of things, so that way you guys are smart as shit, everyone on this call. The whole reason that this team is assembled, this team, is simply because of the synergy and the fact that you guys are smarter than me in many ways. That's why you're all assembled in this. So your collective wisdom and your collective intelligence is what I need. So what I need for you to do is not be politically correct with your answers or your comments. All right? Yes, you may offend some people here, but what matters is the long run. Your family, sustainability, like you finding your passion, trying to improve equality where it's fucked up. All these things really, really matter. And then, building those resources so you can help unjust situations and injustices, okay? So, next. People in the field of behavior analysis will continue leaving the field. It's not their fault. It's the way the science is, man. I mean, Paulie and I get this reaction, like literally, that makes us sick when we see people acting too pompous about the science that they don't want to share it in a way that's consumable. Don't you, Paulie? I think we get that same feeling.
I hate that shit, man.
I think my prediction, 2021, 2022, and then for the next 10 years or 9 years after that, that what happens to the behavior analytic community is that they constantly feel like they're being manipulated by others, and others do it for their own gain rather than what's right for the long term. And they end up feeling themselves like imposters. That's why you keep hearing this word come up a lot, like imposter syndrome. At some point, stop faking certain things and then just be real about it. Listen, I'm not saying it's easy. It hurts every time I expose one of my vulnerabilities, like not moving my arms and shit like that very well, and I try to, it hurts. And then it hurts when I get criticized online. But it's good for me. Number 7, one of the reasons that a lot of people are leaving the field, from all the data I've collected, the private conversations I've had, the discussions I've had, is because they are trying to apply the science to their own situation, and they're not doing it very effectively. Therefore, their own mental health is struggling, and as a result of their mental health struggles, they're like, this science is a bunch of bullshit. So the appropriate extrapolation, the appropriate data analysis, the appropriate trends will help you apply it in a way that helps you. And remember that the optics of it to the autism adult community, remember what they've learned is, the old method of just sheer control and manipulation. And they were like, that, I want to be me. And I just think that it's important that we consider those things. Number 8, intellectual property theft will continue happening. You know what I mean? Like, IP is the gold. So intellectual property and finite creativity and innovation will continue to be something that we struggle with, where people are trying to steal it. I mean, you guys remember the situation that our IT guy helped us resolve when we got hijacked for Bitcoin? If you decide you want to be an investor or you want to get ahead of things, just make sure that you keep moving the ball forward in protection of information, because that's the biggest commodity. Printing money's fake and you can just do that endlessly, but innovation, creativity, and shit that you guys are doing is priceless. Number 9, entrepreneurship is going to take a step back right now, okay? Entrepreneurship and investment in, well, right now a lot of people are using these SPACs, or special PAC acquisition companies, and they're like fake companies that are created to purchase other companies, and that there's a lot of that. They don't really have any soul, but when you know the industry well, they can be valuable. Capital gains tax is doubling in the future. So just know that means there's less liquidity in the system. As a result of less liquidity and less capital in the system, that means that there are going to be a lot of step backs in entrepreneurship. A lot of people are going to want something really safe, and they're not going to want to take the risk. But I don't mind putting, let's do it, all right? One of the problems with the capital gains tax increasing, it'll temporarily help a lot of people that need help with the wealth gap temporarily, okay? But unless they're taught the tools, the principles, and the science of independence, then it will create dependence. And just like that's why most millionaires that win the lottery lose it within a period of time. It still changes. Number 10. In the future, if people can invest in, whether it's intellectual capital, whether it's actually doing it, or whether it's in the diversity of company boards and organizational boards across the world, that's going to be the future. The diversity of boards. This one, I don't know, this is going to be weird. Okay, the birth rate's going to start declining, if it hasn't already. I think it may have. Yeah, birth rates, and there are many, many variables why birth rates are going to decrease, but the procreation of the species can be a problem over the long run. One of the really f***ed up things I'm going to say is that the more that men and women don't get along, the more they're going to be with the AI technology for their own sex. It's kind of f***ed up, isn't it? For that unconditioned reinforcer of automatic reinforcement. Pretty soon, if there isn't already, there'll be like these AI machine learning things that are gratifying every need there is, and the people feel immersed into it with virtual reality. Okay? So I don't know if that's why it's on the decline right now, but it could be in further jeopardy. With technology learning from itself and having such a compound effect and exponentially how quickly that machine learning occurs, it learns from itself way quicker than most human beings can. We need multiple things to happen. We need kindness, where we use behavior analysis and we help those programmers, okay? I see people doing it in our industry and trying, which is cool, because when a world becomes to a point where it's just, it replaces the jobs at too high of a number, you're going to see depression go through the roof. I mean, you can look at Amazon right now and see how quickly they're laying people off as a result of technology. Okay, so just understand that that's the future, not certain college courses. Certain ones are not. The future is going to be, coding of computers, AI, technology, and then I think behavior analysis to understand it and how it should work together to not become a monster that's ruthless. Because AI has no soul. Okay? So all I'm going to suggest is that we prepare in the next 10 years for more mental health problems, because many, many people, even I see a little, this is my gut instinct, that I see more men than women that find value and meaning in their careers. And when they don't have meaning and purpose in their careers, both men and women, it's the same thing, but to a higher degree, men flexing and stuff like that. If they don't have meaning and purpose in their careers and feel growth in some way or another, men and women will struggle, but I think men more. Mental health will go more through the roof. You'll see more and more suicides and domestic violence. It's time to begin embracing various differences in our gender differences. It's very important for us to understand them and embrace them, because we're way better together. We're way better together. Way better. Same thing with our differences in our race, in our religion. Once we can understand the other person's tendencies and behavior, the more we can be transparent with each other and help each other. Right now, there's a culture of fear. I've had this conversation with Paulies many times, and it's just a weird one. I'm like, yo, we need to be positive as much as possible and use positive reinforcement. But for whatever reason, what I've learned in life, and this might just be me, but yeah, and 99% of the time, the positivity and the positive reinforcement works for discretionary effort. However, there were some evil people out there that I come across that want to do harm, real harm to people. They're evil, all right? I don't know if that's a politically correct word, but they're really nasty people. They're the people that you have to know when to go beast mode on. Okay? That 1% of the time that people are engaging in patterns of behavior that are inauthentic and only for themselves and that are very harmful to many, many people is when you got to be the apex predator. That's when you got to be the eagle in the sky, the lion on the ground, the shark in the water. That's when you got to smack them down. But very rarely, okay? I just think it's important for you to have that in you or complement yourself with someone else who has that in you. Because I've seen a lot of pain. I've seen a lot of pain. I've felt a lot of pain. I've been victim to a lot of pain. The people I love have been in a lot of pain from really, really nasty people that are out to do serious, serious damage. Okay, that's all I got.